Welcome back everyone to another video. My name is MaximiY and today I have a replay for you in the Strv K. Now you are going to want to stick around for this armor section, I promise you, because it is very, very important for this vehicle to understand one simple truth. Enhanced armor does absolutely nothing. Now I will show you this right now. Observe. That's equipped, that's unequipped. That's equipped, that's unequipped. Nothing changes on the turret. And that is all because the armor of the Strv K relies entirely on ricochets. Which is dumb, but it allows you to understand why your armor will sometimes work and sometimes won't. You have certain advantages with this type of armor that you don't have with regular armor, and you have equally as many downsides. The downsides being anybody who can see your armor at an angle that isn't an auto ricochet will always penetrate you. So, for example, at this one. However, if you will use gun depression, then you won't be penetrated because you increase the angle of your armor. It becomes an auto ricochet. What does that mean for you? It means that on this tank, you have to run hit points. And now that I've shown you the armor, I'm going to show you my equipment because it is equally as important on the Strv K. Now, this is the first time that you've seen my garage, but I've hidden everything except the Strv K. And now that you know the armor profile and now that you can't use enhanced armor, what do you use? Hit points. And why you use hit points, not just because it's more effective, but also because the super strength of the Strv K is in its provisions, because it has sandbag armor. Now, some people will go ahead and say that 70 hit points is not worth sacrificing improved fuel over. However, there have been situations where I've been left on about 100 HP of health. I do not want to risk that high roll of that amount. It is important. This amount of hit points is important to have, at least to my playstyle. And if you want equipment, this is how I run it. Calibrated shells, because APCR was buffed in the recent update. Enhanced gun lane drive, because you want the aiming circle to aim in faster. And Reddit for refined gun instead of the vertical stabilizer, because this tank has a special equipment called combat stabilization. You'll be able to see it in battle, and I will explain its use. But because I have this capability, I still run refined gun despite its nerf. For vitality, I use improved modules because it gives me actual usable statistics instead of random chances. I use hit points for the reason I already explained. And I use enhanced tracks because enhanced tracks combined with improved modules means that you will almost never be tracked. It also helps that it automatically repairs the track wheel without damage, but in full honesty, it is more situational. What matters to me more is that it makes the tracks more durable. Now, obviously we use improved optics. Nobody should be running camouflage net on any of their vehicles unless they are a tank destroyer. Then I use engine accelerator. However, I might switch it to improved control. However, I feel that I still like engine accelerator a little bit more, but this is the choice I would say is 50-50. You can choose whichever one you like. And high-end consumables to keep adrenaline pumping for longer. With that out of the way, let's get into the replay. Now, on this map, you with the Strv are able to go far right. Now, with most tanks, that is not the position you want to take, especially with heavy tanks. You can only take the position I'm about to take in fast heavies. So, something like the Strv, and especially in the spawn position where I'm in, I was perfectly positioned to go to that route. However, most heavy tanks will often go to mid, where that T110E5 is going, or down into the ditch, like that M4 Firebird. Now, I will be able to cross. I won't get spotted, but I'll dilly-dally a little bit too much trying to shoot the M4, and somehow was able to bounce a shell from the Gorilla 15. And I was also somehow able to bounce these two incredible shots, one from the mouse and one from the 114. But okay, so now I'm going to capture the base, because everybody knows that I'm at that bush, so everybody will be pre-aiming it, and so I won't get another chance to poke it and do damage. So instead I'm going to capture the base, and I've already decided that my next target is going to be this M4. Now, what is great about the base is the fact that it will grant you XP over time. So every second that that base is in action, you will gain experience points. Experience points are very useful for gun marking. I'm able to get 2 shells out, having activated my adrenaline, and now, because the M4 is pushing out, I'm able to get another shell into him. Did you see just how quickly that 1,000 damage piled up? That is the advantage you have when running the Strv K. It's incredible DPM, and it's medium-esque gun. No other tank, except for the G-Sor the tank, has an alpha as low as this. In fact, the G-Sor is probably the only vehicle with, the only heavy with a lower amount of alpha. Now that shell probably connected on the Caro. And now I notice the 140, and now watch this. Oh, that was such a juke. I mean, it was a low roll of 275, but I was still able to hit him and force him off of that hill. Now that's important because from that position, the 4005 has a lot of influence, a lot of power. And I'm just thinking what to do, because I've been mainly sniping this whole game. Now it's unfortunate that I bounced that shell, but again, here I wasn't really sure what to do. We are technically losing. Our team is in a worse position than the enemies are. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to switch to the other bush. And I'm going to try to take out or make this 4005 weaker. So I noticed that the grill shot, which means that I have a free shell on him. I track him. And now I'm kind of deliberating, because on one hand I want to spot him and kill him, and on the other hand I don't know where he is. But the 4005 ends up being spotted, and I decide that it is worth losing health for that clear. And here I was able to light on fire again magically. I just noticed that he's going to be dropping and try it out. And here I think I got greedy. I went for damage and I forgot that the girl was there. And that cost me quite a bit of hit points. And I was then unable to spot anything. And then I lost another 600 hit points. So in general, this situation is about as dookie can be. So what do? I know that all the tanks are not going to go into the ditch to fight me. I am hoping that they are all going to come directly at me. I am able to load APCR, and with the buffed APCR, I am able to penetrate the mouse, taking him out of the game. Now I'm extra scared, because I know that they know that I am looking forward. So I am considering that they are going to go into the ditch and come up behind me. But I am still scared. I don't know whether that's what's going to happen. So I stay, and just as I was about to leave again, I notice the grill. He misses my turret, which causes me to push up. But then I notice the Caro, and look at this. I'm able to hit him once. Now I know I have to hit him one more time. If I don't, I am screwed. Just barely, I'm able to get that shell out, and now 3.5 seconds, and now I know he can't kill me, because his his reload is slower, and with that kill, I am able to get 1,000 points, and we win on victory points. Now, it is debatable whether or not I would have been able to clear that grill, but this game could have very easily been a loss if a few things went a little bit differently. Capturing that base in the beginning of the match is what proved to be the victory, and I hope that convinces you that, one, you should sometimes capture the base instead of prioritizing alpha, and two, you learned how to predict enemy movements. I mean, it is very difficult, and I don't think you could have feasibly understood all of the processes, but keeping in mind what enemies are going to do and trying to predict it is something that a Blitz player needs to start trying to do in order to get better. With that, thank you very much for watching my video. See you later. Bye-bye.